There's an 86-year-old legend on Mountain Road in Gordon, Pennsylvania. A legend of a young woman who's still searching for her murderer. Many have witnessed her walking Mountain Road. She is known to shut cars off, headlights and radios. Many say it is a hoax. There's many stories around this young woman. One is a motorcycle gang murdered her. There's another story of the mafia that murdered her. Join us as ESP explores the Gordon Mountain Ghost.
March 13th, me and Carrie took a drive on the old mountain road. And we took a walk up by the lake. And what you're about to see here is just Carrie's initial feelings on the area. We done this before we did any research, and this is what she got.
The first thing I felt when we went onto the road, I felt very nervous. My stomach got tight, and usually that's anxiety. But as we were driving the length of the road, I kept seeing a girl in a car with several other people, and there was a fear to it. Like she knew something was going to happen. So I'm not sure exactly what happened up here, but I feel like if it was a woman who passed away, she was alive when she came onto this road or this mountain. I also picked up that other people have lost their life up here, but their energy is not coming over as strong as whatever happened to this girl. I feel it's amplified also by the fear that she felt. Well, I do feel she knew who abducted her. Someone involved in crime, so possibly mafia. But it's almost like I feel like as soon as they got in this area, how remote it is, she knew something was up. I don't feel like she actually did anything that would be, warrant her to be killed, but I think it's more of what she knew and what she was around, and just possibly knowing too much. I heard the words out of area. They weren't even from the area. I see like a scuffle in the car, but she was also I'm seeing like choked. It's almost like out of anger. Like I'm seeing that her hair was in a style that would be in the 20s. I feel like she was in her early 20s. I'm not feeling a strong vibration that she was working at a diner. She may have in the past, but from what I'm kind of sensing, she had a little bit nicer clothes on. So I'm not saying that she had a lot of money, but I feel like she was maybe was involved with one of these men who had something to do with her death, but she was being helped or supported in some other way. Like she wasn't completely dead, but it was at a point where she wouldn't have known really, But I do believe that she wasn't completely deceased when they set her on fire. I'm also feeling too that something else might have been done with her body. I don't know that's the reason again why they had to burn her and cover her up. They obviously didn't want her to be identified. I'm trying to pick up to see what's her family looking for her, but I feel like she might have been estranged from her family. Like it's almost like she took off already, and then she just happened upon this, this demise, but they just thought, oh, she just took off and didn't want anything to do with them, and so I'm hearing that she may be unsettled because of that. It's sad to say like someone was deceased and no one solved their murder, and who's looking for them. Mr. and Mrs. Claude Duncan from Gordon decided to take a walk on Gordon Mountain hunting wildflowers. What was supposed to be a pleasant walk through the mountain turned into something very heinous. They came upon a scene where there were several crows cawing and circling above something lying on the ground. When they got closer, they noticed that it was a girl. The fate of the woman proved to be true savagery, as the details of what happened in the woman's last hours emerged. The woman was burned from her knees up. Her torso, the top of her legs, her arms, her fingers, and part of her head was burned. One side of her face was contorted in pain. There was blood spatters on her clothes and also on bits and pieces of her clothing which were scattered around the scene. Questions soon surfaced. Was the woman murdered first and then carried from the roadway to the place where she now lay? Or was she burned alive? Who was she? Who was the murderer? One thing was certain. Deputy Coroner James Roth of Fountain Springs said that the woman was abused and criminally attacked prior to her being murdered. Based on the 1925 newspaper report, Dr. Robert Spencer of Ashland and his colleague Stephen Segunda performed the autopsy. Dr. Spencer noted that the woman smelled of gasoline, that she had a scar on her abdomen and a slight humpback, and that she was slightly unconscious when the gasoline was poured over her and she was lit on fire. News of the murder spread quickly throughout Schuylkill County as the state police asked for anyone's assistance and if they knew any missing women in the area. Reports soon came in of a Mrs. Anna Richardson or Mrs. Anna Sullivan who had disappeared a week prior. People reported to see Anna Sullivan getting into a blue sedan with one gentleman heading toward Gordon Mountain. Others actually saw her in Pottsville near Center and Norwegian Streets talking to several gentlemen and then disappearing and not coming back. The police were convinced this was Anna Sullivan. However, shortly after, it was determined that Anna Sullivan was actually alive and living in Shamokin. The investigation continued, and soon it was positively identified that the woman was Sarah Pruitt. However, again, she was found alive. Holy Thursday, the state police were running down several clues from several missing women from Tamaqua to Mahanoy City to Frackville, and soon a third positive identification was made. The family of Lillian Palm Olive Tyler identified her body at Fountain Springs Hospital, based on her hair and her teeth. It was determined that Lillian was staying at the Sunset Inn Roadhouse on the Centralia Aristis Road, and that she checked her baggage at the Mount Carmel Railway Station, but never picked them up. Soon the state police were investigating the Sunset Inn Roadhouse, and they found a trap door in the cellar. Under the trap door was a 6-foot deep hole, and at the bottom was a bloody club. However, it was not determined if that club was used in the murder. The third identification of the murdered young woman as Lillian actually turned out to be false. Lillian turned up very much alive. She ran away and eloped and was staying in a room house in Detroit, Michigan. The young murder victim was never identified. Prior to her cremation, Dr. Robert Spencer removed her head and her hands in hopes that they could possibly be used to identify her in the future. Dr. Spencer preserved the woman's hands and kept them in his office for 17 years. The woman's head was also preserved and is now in the Harrisburg State Police Barracks. A plaster head was created that resembled the victim's face, color, and complexion, and kept in the auto showroom of J. Sightsenger of Gordon. Currently, the head resides at the Schuylkill Historical Society and is categorized as item A1147.
Shortly after the murder, there was car problems on Mountain Road. People traveling the road, the car would shut off, or their headlights would shut off. And rumors soon started that the road was haunted. And a lot of people thought it was this young lady. Jay Seitzinger got word of this, and him and some buddies decided to have some fun with it. Some of the things they did was run around in the woods with sheets on, and then they had a more elaborate plan where they had a mannequin tied to a rope, and when somebody got near it, they would pull the rope and just get a glimpse of this mannequin going up through the trees. and everybody run screaming. I'm sure this was hoaxed a lot, not only by him. During the investigation, 2 local residents stopped by to say hi, and turns out they were hoaxing it too when they were younger.
One of the claims of Mountain Road is as you're driving along, you'll see a woman standing next to the road. Your car will stall. She will slowly walk up to the car and peer into the window, searching for her killer.
April 30th, we decided to investigate the Gordon Mountain. It was Carrie, Alan, and myself that went up there. We got up there around 6:30 in the evening. We stayed probably till about 9:30. Our whole intention was just to see if we can contact this woman.
We're not going to hurt you. We're just here to ask some questions. And this is your time to come forward and communicate with us. But the only way we can do that is if you go near the flashlight and touch it. Or what you can do is wave your hand above the other device that's right next to it. So if you're here, and there's a spirit here, can you please touch the flashlight?
Is there anybody up here at all? Could you put the light? You could light up real quick. You saw Mike. You didn't play with it. Just give it a quick tap, light it up, let us know. Anybody. Even if you happen to be down over the side of the hill there, you can walk up. There's a free for all, you know. You just come up from down there and say hello. Right where you see the 3 of us, there's a flashlight and a little toy. You can light it up real pretty. Don't be shy. Nobody gonna hurt you. Toys ain't gonna bite you. Everybody see the flashlight.
So we're looking for the woman who actually lost her life up here on August 5th, or if anybody else is around.
April 5th.
Huh?
April 5th.
What did I say, 25th?
August 5th.
Oh, sorry. August. Oh, see? All right, can you turn it off, please? Please turn it off. We can ask you yes or no questions every time you tap that and turn it on or off. So if you wouldn't mind please touching it again so it goes off and I can start asking you some questions. Thank you. So are you the young woman who lost her life up here in 1925? If you are, can you touch the flashlight and turn it on? Okay.
Thank you.
Can you turn it off now, please? We'd like to ask you another question. Okay, how about we ask you another question, and if a yes, then you can tap it again and turn it off. Oh, okay. Did you lose your life on this mountain? If you lost your life on this mountain, can you tap it? Tap the flashlight?
Make it real bright.
I saw that you tried. Tap it again.
Okay.
That was awful slow. We need some quicker answers. So I'm going to ask again. Did you lose your life on this mountain? If you lost your life on this mountain, quick touch that flashlight and make it go off very quickly. Thank you. Were you the young woman who was set on fire on this mountain? If you were the young woman who was set on fire on this mountain, can you please turn the flashlight on very quickly?
Again, you don't have to be afraid of Al. He won't bite you.
Not yet, anyway.
Okay.
So you are the woman that was burned on the mountain. If that's true, turn the flashlight out. Go ahead. I see you're trying to put it out. Put it out. Thank you.
Thank you.
Did the man or men who did harm to you have a blue car? If they had a blue car, can you please light the flashlight?
Looked like she did for a second.
Gotta hit it harder. There you go.
There
Okay.
was blue car.
Let's ask again. Was the car actually green of the men who did this harm to you? If it was green, can you tap the flashlight? Okay. Was the car blue? Did the man own a blue car? Oh,
Yeah, there you go. 2 blues. You can't go wrong.
yeah.
One of the tools we use to contact spirits is a flashlight. And it's just a regular mag flashlight. And what we do is we turn it on. And what we do then is we back it up until it shuts off. And then we ask the spirit to tap it. Just like that. Tap it for a yes answer. If it's a no, then don't tap it. Now if the flashlight's on and we ask a question and it shuts off, it counts as a tap. So that's what you're seeing in this video, and it's, like I said, it's just a plain mag flashlight. Also with this video, it took the girl a while to tap the flashlight. Between taps it took her 30 seconds, sometimes up to 2 minutes. So what I did is just shorten up the videos between the taps, and that's why it looks like she's tapping it fast.
Are we in the area where they found your body? If so, tap it real hard, turn it out. If we're in the area where they found your body.
There's no need to be scared to talk to us. There you go.
Thank you.
Okay, just to verify, if that was a yes, turn it back on, please. So we know that was a definite yes. Thank you. Were they members of the mafia?
Ooh. If that was a yes, turn it back on. Can you do that? If they were members of the mafia, turn the flashlight on.
There you go.
Thank you.
So, were you from another state outside of Pennsylvania? If you were from another state, can you please touch the flashlight?
I'm going to take that as a yes. If it was a yes, turn the flashlight out. So you're not from Pennsylvania. If that's true, turn the flashlight out. Okay, I'll shut up. Carrie can get back to asking questions.
Oh, there we
Oh,
go. If you shut cars off that come up the roads, can you please touch the flashlight?
I'm going to say yeah.
Doesn't get close enough for me. Don't forget, when you turn the light on and answer yes or no to our questions, you can also sit there and speak into that device right beside it with the red light, the little black thing. I'm Alan Wolfshadows, founder of Ghost Hunters Incorporated and the director. And right now, we just got done at Gordon Mountain where a girl was supposed to have been murdered. As far as my opinions, I think there's something definitely interesting. We just had a little flashlight activity, and there's definitely something up there. So one of the things I had personally, a couple times when I was down near the creek, I took a shot and I saw what appeared to be a possible ectoplasmic mist. Now at this point I can't say. At one point when we were doing our flashlight session, I thought I heard a female voice say, "I can't." My opinion, is it haunted? There's a good possibility. And we'll be back.
Okay.
Okay, so here we are on Gordon Mountain, and we were hoping to get some activity, and we actually did with the flashlight and even with the K2 meter. I felt a lot up here. As soon as we came onto the road again, I felt very anxious and tight. And during our encounter here, we actually ran into some local residents, and immediately when they came, though, I felt very anxious. She did not like those people up here for some reason. Also, she seemed to be reluctant to talk to Alan and Mike. Most of the responses came from me, and I would expect that if she was attacked by a man. What was really interesting through our investigation was that she was okay answering certain questions, but when it got into her murder or how many men, she just would not answer. So either she's afraid or doesn't even know that she's actually deceased. So I'm anxious to get back up here again and see if we can get more evidence, and I'm hoping that we catch up with EVPs.
We're up here on the Gordon Mountain. We spent a couple hours up here. We got a little bit of activity. Is it haunted? There's definitely somebody up here. She says she's a female, so I'm thinking it may be her.
Is it true that a woman was murdered on Gordon Mountain? Yes. Is it true that she was never identified and that her murderer was never identified? Yes. Is it true that her ghost still roams Gordon Mountain looking for her murderer?